they don't want this thing hanging over their heads, hanging around, being an issue for them as they get close to the opening of camp. They don't want to face any questions about it. They don't want to deal with it. And for them, it probably amounts to a pittance in the budget, right?
Yeah.
It'll leak out what this settlement was because 30 different people can leak it despite the NDA that surely is involved with it.
Let me jump in and say this. This is smart business by Cal McNair. One would argue from a legal perspective, do you open the door? If you're saying we don't admit any guilt and we're not admitting that Deshaun Watson's guilty, we're just showing how much we're concerned with sexual assault allegations of any kind. The one thing that you would fear is, does it set a precedent that now you are right for the taking if someone were to sue your organization to settle quickly, right? Because it is a quick settlement on the Texans' part. I argue it's a smart move to go ahead and not let this thing drag out, especially because the one report tying the Texans, when they say we had no knowledge of this, I don't know that that's true if you believe that the head of security was told by Deshaun Watson what was going on with the blackmail attempt, and what did he do? He printed off non-disclosure agreements to give to Deshaun Watson to help him out.
Yep.
And the organization setting up hotel rooms, memberships at a private club, things like this. So anyway, I think it's a smart move by the Texans, but continue.
Case by case basis, I think, in terms of the precedent, though it's a legitimate concern. So Tony Busby, in his statement, said there is a marked contrast in the way in which the Texans address these allegations and the way Deshaun Watson has done so, which is obvious, but he's spelling that out to make it clear. And his settlements with what did he settle with? 22 of 26 or 20 of 24? Anyway, of 4 remaining that he hasn't settled with, including Ashley Solis, who is at the head of the line here in terms of telling her story. He took a long time to settle. He could have settled with a large majority of the accusers in order to facilitate, when he was trying to facilitate a trade to Miami during the season before the trade deadline, failed to do so when he couldn't settle with all of them. But it certainly was a much more, I don't want to say sloppy, a much longer, drawn-out process that took forever, and he's certainly maintaining his innocence while doing it also.
It doesn't.
But he didn't put out nearly as neat a statement as the Texans did.
Well, there's 2 big wins for the Deshaun Watson camp in this, and I hesitate to say anybody's winning in all of this, but he had the 2 cases. They didn't move forward with the grand jury on 2 of the cases for criminal charges, which that's good for Deshaun Watson and his team, but from a football perspective and from just a getting on with your life perspective, and probably even the accusers getting on with their lives to an extent, I mean, the best thing to do and the smartest thing to do and the best business, the best football decision to do would have been to take the Texans' approach and settle.